Dune Awakening is finally here. The long-awaited sandbox MMO has released for those who purchased the Deluxe or Ultimate Edition as of yesterday, June 5th. There's so much that goes into this game. It can be a little overwhelming, so after 20 hours of playtime, I've gotten 3 of the best tips to maximize your progression in Dune Awakening. At tip number 1, we have water bending. In Dune, you're gonna have to master the element of water. Dune does not have a hunger feature, so in place of this, due to the blazing heat of the sun, you have a water meter. It's best to always pay attention to your water because this is going to keep you alive majority of the time. There are several different ways to collect this water. You can stay up on your hydration by simply drinking from the plant at the cost of some health, but one of the best ways to collect said water is to extract the water from the plant using the Dew Reaper, which once you finally reach your first trade post, you can buy with the Solari you've collected thus far. And I say this because you'll need to be in the iron product category if you wanted to craft it. So in order to get it quicker, just buy it. If you really wanted to reap the benefits of this Dew Reaper, make sure you're doing it at the right time. You'll know when it's time because the plants will have a blue tint to them. This is right before sunrise. All right, so it's obviously going to be nighttime. This will really help yield you some good water at a rapid rate. The water collected with the Dew Reaper will be stored in what's known as your litter johns. Okay, you got obviously different variations of the litter johns. And once the water is in said litter johns, you simply drink it once you get thirsty while exploring. All right, it's really that simple. Another method to water is by extracting the blood from your enemies using your blood extractor, storing it in your blood sacks, and bringing those sacks back to your base for a little bit of purification. The blood that you brought back will simply just be deposited into these blood purification machines, and then that purified blood will just become the water. And then you could either extract that water into your litter john and take it with you on your next journey, or you can put it in what's known as water cisterns, which are just simply storage containers for your water. Just like any survival craft, there's different tiers to the items you're using. Okay, so the higher tier, and the better the results. Okay, you get more capacity, faster yield time, so on and so forth. One of the final and most efficient ways of perfecting this water process is by crafting wind traps, which simply automate the process entirely by siphoning water from moisture within the air and placing them directly into your water cisterns. I'm telling you guys, if you can master this process right here, then water will never be a problem for you in in-game. Just wait until you get into the iron and steel products. You know, you're gonna see that you need water to craft those items. Okay, so you're gonna have to be stacked. Research points are vital in Dune Awakening, and in order to even begin crafting an item, you need to research the schematic of said item. You get research points by simply playing the game, progressing. Every new level grants more research points as well as locations discovered, so get out there and get active. But there are designated areas for you to really maximize the output of your research points. If you open up your map, each area has a legend that tells you the progress that's been completed in that area. This icon here is for intel. Going to these areas, clearing out the enemies, and then looking for an intel folder that looks like this is going to rack you in some serious token. There will be situations where you would try and repair an item that you found out in the field, but you haven't researched it yet, so you'll see that you will not be able to repair it. The only reason you can't repair it is because, like I said, you have not researched it or learned the item. This happened to me with the welding torch Mark III. Right? I was deteriorating, I found it out in the field, and I go back to my base, I try and repair it. Couldn't repair it. I had to research the item. Luckily for me, I did have some tokens stashed away, so I did just simply, research the item, and then I was able to repair it just like that. Try to avoid situations like this by keeping up with your progression throughout the areas. If you're near steel or aluminum, but you only got a Cutter Mark II researched, it might be time to play catch up. But whatever you do, just do not skip over these areas. Every new armor set you're waiting on, that new buggy, as well as the infamous Onothat. You need research points for it all. Clear intel in each area first to ensure you stay ahead of the pack. And at tip number 3, you laddies need to get some wheels ASAP. All right, at the start of the game, you're gonna want to choose unlocked mode. Okay, choose the locked mode, then you're gonna have your sand bike locked behind a quest line, right? Which means you will not get it until you complete that quest line, unless you plan on burning yourself in and out of game, because that sun will be burning your ass alive while you're trying to run across these dunes. You feel me? You're gonna want to get a vehicle ASAP. Loot every single thing that you see. All right, this is a looter game. There's no reason you shouldn't be going inside of every single container you see. You can find anything from vehicle treads, engines, and even chassis in these little ass boxes. But like I said, being able to drive around the dunes is much more enjoyable than just running everywhere. Adding to the bike itself, you get there so much faster, it looks cooler, not to mention you do have to cross vast distances to get to new areas. All right, and you get to those new areas to progress. Okay, so the faster you get your bike, the better. Also, there's going to be certain resources that you're going to need that are in those areas across those dunes that you have to go across. You know what I'm saying? That, like, they're going to be in those newer, higher areas. So just imagine trying to gather all these materials, i.e. rocks, you feel me, the different type of stones, the gravel, all sorts of things that you need to build these refineries and fabricators, and you got to go 3 miles down this way and then come 3 miles down that way with just 50 pounds of load, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to if you had your bike with the inventory on it, you know what I'm saying, you could go for 350 pounds of load. You see the difference, you know, and then you just scale it up from there. Okay, you got a bike with 350, and these are just examples, by the way. These aren't the actual numbers, but I'm just saying, you know, you eventually get a buggy, and I know with the buggy, the actual number for the buggy is you can carry 1500 volts of storage as opposed to 175 volts on your person. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference there. So obviously getting a vehicle is not only going to help with just you getting places, but also bringing back things that you're gonna need, because you are gonna be looting every single thing that you see. And I did just get my buggy on stream yesterday. All right, you feel me? If you guys want to come follow me on Twitch, you feel me? Link's gonna be down below in the description. All right, chat was so lit, you know, because we saw the difference from even the sand bike to the buggy. The difference in inventory space is crucial. All right, it completely changed the game as opposed to how far I was able to progress at such a rapid rate. So yeah, I highly suggest that you guys start dealing with these vehicles ASAP. Okay, obviously the ornithopter is the end all be all. That's what everybody wants to go and get, and that's what we're all chasing right now. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all gonna want to come see this because I'm right around the corner from that bad boy. But yeah, man, that's pretty much gonna do it. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into this game. You know, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of other tips that I could have brought up and talked about, but I honestly feel like these three are kind of just a baseline main, you know, for someone who doesn't want to come in watching a 20-30 minute long video. No, man, you just abide by these three codes of law. You know what I'm saying? You will be fine. All right, everything else will just fall into place. If you guys want to stay up to date with everything here on the channel, make sure you hit all the socials down below in the description. I'm gonna be covering everything Dune Awakening. All right, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta go farm up some aluminum ore before I gotta go to work because I need this on the top. All right, hey, it's Crispy NT, and I'm about